Good morning, Adventure Nation. Now, a lot of RVing is about meeting new and amazing people, and these guys, Raph and Liz and their family, were awesome. We hung out with them for a couple of days here in Galveston. Now it's time to head up the road to Houston, get some more done. Today is a travel day. This is the Motorhome experiment. It's time to head up the road to Houston. Today is a travel day. Now, a lot of our experiment.
Come on.
It's time to head up the road to Houston. Today is a travel day.
Bye.
The camera.
Are you coming with us? No.
No.
And you coming with us?
It is time to roll out of Galveston
No.
No.
and
Into the Houston
area. We got the phone call. Time to roll out of Galveston. Our manager, that her baby is on the way. Call from and time
so
to roll out of Galveston. Our manager on the way to Las Vegas tomorrow. And so we flying up there.
Lorena by herself.
Our manager to Las Vegas tomorrow. And so
Right. She's
leaving.
happy. She says she's sad on the outside.
to Las Vegas tomorrow.
It's
She's
narrow.
happy. She says she's sad.
See you guys.
To Las Vegas tomorrow.
She's happy. She says she's sad.
To Las Vegas tomorrow.
She's happy. She says she's sad.
To Las Vegas. As you guys can see, an extremely narrow campground. They have just enough room to get out. And of course, I'm going out the wrong way. So, you know.
No, I think this is a two-way.
This is a two-way? I don't think so.
I think it is. And I think this is a two-way. It is.
I'm not digging this coastal fog thing. It's already noon and it's still hazy. Not digging that. If you guys notice this parking along here, this is called the seawall. You probably can't see it in video, but to the right of those vehicles where the brown is, then there's about a, I don't know, probably a 20-foot drop off down to the beach. That's called the seawall, and that prevents water when it rises up during storms from coming in and flooding Galveston. You definitely can't see it in the video, but over on your left, behind the houses that you see there on the left, it drops back off another 20 feet or so. And so that water would just rush right in and flood everything like it did in the hurricanes past. Especially the 1900 storm that wiped Galveston off the map pretty much. Now, we did not get to do everything we wanted to do here in Galveston. We didn't do the pier. We didn't do Moody Garden, which was supposed to be cool.
Last night was fog.
And the pier, yeah, you could barely see the top of some of the rides. There was so much fog last night, or we may have done that. But what else didn't we do? We didn't get to do the Rainforest Cafe here, which has a water ride. It's something that we really wanted to do.
Moody Garden.
I'd mentioned Moody Gardens.
Oh, you did? The ride bicycles to see the void statues.
Yeah, we wanted to ride bicycles. Supposedly during the one storm, there was some trees that were broken and battered, and artists come in and carve those up to make them look nice. So we didn't get a chance to see that as well. So now we're gonna have to come back to Galveston another time and re-adventure, rediscover, re-explore, retake a look, re-explore. We were in the little twin cities of Kemah and Seabrook, and traffic is pretty darn heavy. And that's a red light.
Yeah.
It was orange.
Right.
And as you can see, we've gotten away from the coast, and it's a bright, sunshiny day. Read the coast. Hey. Read the coast. Hey. Well, you gotta go through kind of a weird industrial oil-laden area, and then all of a sudden it opens up and you have that. The San Jacinto Monument. Did I say that right?
San Jacinto.
San Jacinto. I've been trying to say that for the last month and I can't say it properly. San Jacinto. We're gonna get into the importance of the monument once we get to it. Then we'll get into it. The monument once we get to it.
So this is it, gang. This is the culmination of all of the history that we've been learning in our last month and a half here in Texas. This is where it all ended, and you could say that the reshaping of the United States began right here at San Jacinto at the battleground, and this monument is to commemorate that battle, and we'll talk about more of that in just a minute. But check this thing out. That battle. Just a minute, but check this thing out. The San Jacinto Monument remains the tallest masonry structure. It's actually bigger than the monument in Washington, the Washington Monument, by I think 10 or 15 feet, something like that. And this is where the battle took place between the Texians and the Santa Anna's Mexican army, which at the time, Texas was a state of Mexico. Many people don't know that. It was part of Mexico, and they were trying to gain their independence from Mexico. They had the battle here. It was around 1836, and you guys are gonna have to check some of these dates. They said it took 18 minutes for the Texians to defeat the Mexican army here. They caught them off guard and didn't take very long. It was 3 weeks later that Santa Anna was captured and then surrendered. There's some story behind that you should look up. It's pretty cool that kind of they didn't even know who they had captured, and his guys gave them up. But this is where Sam Houston and Santa Anna signed the documents to say that Texas was to be given its independence from Mexico and become its own country at that time. It was the Republic of Texas. So very, very cool stuff. And with that, Santa Anna was actually released, I believe. He was held as a prisoner of war for a while, released, became the president of Mexico once again, correct?
Yes.
And then he was the one responsible for signing over the land, the New Mexico, Arizona, California, all of that stuff to the United States. And I believe that was after Texas became a part of the United States. I'm not sure of the timeline of that, but huge part of history and the shaping of the United States. I'm really excited, as you can tell. This is cool. Let's check it out. Huge, as you can tell. This is cool. Let's check it out. Huge, as you can tell. This is cool. Let's check it out. Well, what do you think?
Pretty amazing. It's huge. I mean, it's hard to describe how big it looks when you're down here.
So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read this or not until I see the video, but this is, like I said, the culmination of all that we learned. The first shot being fired by the Texans at Gonzales. You guys are going to be able to read this. Being fired, we learned the first shot Gonzales. You guys are going to be able to read this. Being fired, we learned the first shot Gonzales. You guys are going to be able to read this. Being fired, we learned the first shot Gonzales. And out here you see the reflection pool. That is the area out here. On the left of that reflection pool was approximately where the Texans camp were, and then the Mexican camp was over here to this side.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And if you notice, the Six Flags are here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Six Flags. 3 here. And the 3 on this side here before you enter into the monument. Just a quick shot of the museum there. I promised I wouldn't take any video of the exhibits in the museum, and I get it, so I'm going to respect that. I just wanted to show you guys that there is an exhibit here, a museum, where you can see some of the artifacts from the battle and the people that were in the battle. Very cool stuff.
Did your ears pop?
Thank you, sir.
Go enjoy.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And Sherman's 2nd Regiment, with its 9th Company of Mexican Texans under Captain Juan Segura.
Oh, wow.
You can see the battleship Texas from here.
Yep.
Then Houston raised his sword high in the air.
And then out here you can see all of the industry and all that stuff.
The oil.
The oil. You guys can see the barge out in the channel. This is the Houston shipping channel. Pretty cool. This here is called the reflecting pool. And at the very end is a round area. We think that's where the Texan camp was. Okay, guys, remember I was talking about the importance of this battle. I'm going to show you what it says on the side of this monument here. Hopefully you guys will be able to read it. I don't want to read the whole thing, but this shows the significance of the entire battle. Of the entire battle. Pretty cool. Some pretty crazy history on these grounds.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, I want to show you guys this bit of the wall, and hopefully you catch the significance of what is said right here on this wall. Bit of the wall of what is said right here on this. I really hope that that comes out where you guys can pause and read that and really let that sink in and what that says. Very, very powerful stuff. Right here on very powerful stuff. Right here on very powerful. The San Jacinto Monument was absolutely incredible. And now we're rolling up through Houston. We could have went around or we can go through, but it's Sunday, so we're gonna go directly through the middle of Houston and see what happens with our eventual destination being WIllis, Texas, and another Thousand Trails campground, where I'm keeping my finger crossed that this one is gonna be a nice Thousand Trails. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. And we gotta make a stop somewhere for propane. So that is on the agenda as well. And our rating system on the San Jacinto Monument. What do you think?
Oh God.
It's kind of tough. But I think if you're with...
If in the area.
I think it's within the area. Like, I don't know if I would do a day trip to see it.
Unless you're like extremely immersed in the history of that specific battle.
Right, like let's say you've done all the other stuff and you're seen all of the other things, the Alamo and all of that stuff, and you've done it all and you've got yourself completely immersed in Texas history as we have. I would say it's a day trip. You gotta, if you're within a day's trip of it, you gotta do it. But it's definitely a 2. It's definitely, if you're in the area, it's a must. You gotta stop by and see it. But it's on the edge of day trip because it is so important to the history of not only Texas, but of the United States as a whole, and it's amazing history. So yeah, check it out if you get a chance. Oh, what was the cost to go up?
$6 per person.
So $6 a person to go up to the observation deck. The observation deck is very tiny, but it gives you a really cool overlook of the area around it. You can see the battleship and the Houston shipping channel and all that kind of stuff. So $6 a person, it's worth it. You can wander around in the museum, I think, for free, but go up inside of it. It's pretty cool. Gonna give you guys just a brief glimpse of the battleship Texas here. Pretty cool. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of neat. We're not going to tour that today. We're going to head up the road into Houston. But it looks pretty slick. Pretty cool. But it looks pretty slick. But it looks pretty slick. Pretty cool. We're on the north side of Houston. We're just a little ways away from
our final destination of Willis, Texas. We were trying to find propane, but it's Sunday and we forget that outside of Las Vegas, people respect Sunday as a day of the Sabbath and a not work day, and things are closed, and so no propane for us. Lorena's just not going to be able to shower for the next week.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
You all right with that? I'm not going to be here anyway, so I won't smell her. It'll be all right. We should be fine. We've got half a tank of propane, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. If we have to unhook once I'm back from Vegas, then we'll do that. Very nice area here north of Houston. We're actually in a little town of Lake Conroe, or Conroe. I don't know if there's a part that's Lake Conroe and a part that's just Conroe.
The town is Conroe.
The town is Conroe?
There is a lake, so it's Lake Conroe.
But there's a lake. All right. Actually, all in North Houston, like the woodlands and all of this area up in here, just beautiful. Well, as you can see, the GPS has got us on another one of these little tiny roads. It's awesome. The homes here, like when you're standing in line at Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere like that, and you know you're reading the U.S. Home or Home Living or all that, yeah, they're coming out here and taking pictures of these places.
That's right here, though.
Like now maybe this is a couple here, but the ones that we just saw back there, just amazing. And this looks like somebody's driveway. Okay, so it says sharp left, and it means it. The dolly is not gonna like this. The tow car is not gonna like this. Oh yeah, no problem at all. Ah, no problem. Thank you. No problem. Sun's right in our face now, but we're heading up here. Looks like there's a little lake. Come on, Thousand Trails, give us a good one this time.
Locations have been good.
Locations have been good. Campgrounds have failed to hold up to scrutiny. This looks like, yeah, I need to clean my windshield. To scrutiny. All right. Not even Thousand Trails can screw up this environment here. Very nice entrance. The sign looks good. All registration and guest use right lane.
Where the guy is parking. Let me go see him now.
Nope. Cool. Well, we're gonna get registered and we'll let you know what happens. And yes, finally maybe, a Thousand Trails that has got it going on and knows what a campground is supposed to look like. So that's kind of nice. Lori is already up here, scoped out our site. Now we just gotta throw this bad boy in there.
All right, so as you guys can see, we made it to Thousand Trails in Willis, Texas. I believe this is called the Reserve, not sure, but I know it's the Thousand Trails in Willis, Texas. And the spot we have is really pretty cool, tucked in. We've got down in behind, there's some stairs that go down into the picnic table, which is really pretty cool. There's a little creek running back there. This particular campground is the nicest Thousand Trails that we have seen by far, which is really pretty cool. We're in a spot that's not that busy. There's some cabins and things up here, so keeps it pretty quiet, which is going to be nice for the next couple of weeks. And at least for the next week while I'm gone, Lori will be able to kick back in here, relax, and actually get some work done as well. So that's where we're going to call it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, we really appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't been here before and you'd like to take a look at what we've got going on, so you might see a thing or two a place or two that is, where you may want to go here in the future, might want to subscribe to the channel. Stay up to date on everything that we're doing, and it would be awesome if you like the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon in another one. Take care, guys. Now it's time to grab some dinner and get some editing done.